Hello, welcome back to Otter Pop Culture. Today is Thursday, which means it is Throwback Thursdays. This is the 17th episode. Cannot believe I've been doing it for this long. Didn't think I would see 17. And we're going over the 7th album and the second English album of Shakira and her album called Oral Fixation Volume 2. This came out in 2005. This is actually pretty much an English version of the other album that also came out in 2005 called Fixation Oral Volume 1. That's also came out the same year. And this one pretty much is the English version of it, or I should say it's like a continuation of it, or part 2, with all of it's mostly English with a couple of songs from the first volume that has been switched into English. So this album has been completely in my face back in 2005. I remember completely The Hips Don't Lie. I remember the whole thing. I fell into Shakira the way that all Americans did, and that was around Laundry Service, came out in 2001. And I know that she has a lot of other albums before that. Unfortunately, there's only 2 albums that they're posting that they have on Spotify. Due to the fact that this is supposed to be the 7th album, it shows on Spotify it's pretty much the 5th album, so we're missing 2 other ones. So anyway, so this album is, first of all, if you don't know Shakira, you should, she is a Colombian singer. She is very, very talented. She knows how to dance. She knows how to sing. She knows how to, perform. She puts on a really good show. She has multiple instruments that she can play. And she's just super multi-talented. It's insane. But aside from pushing that aside, we're now talking about this album. And I really, really am surprised that I didn't get into this album. I'm so upset with myself for not doing this, because I remember seeing the album all over the place. I knew I liked Hips Don't Lie. I knew I liked Don't Bother. So I was like, okay, so I should, in any other case, if somebody likes 2 songs and that album comes out, usually they go out and get it. And I just completely it's probably in Spanish. I probably don't understand it. Let's move on. So now here I am getting into it, and I completely would have devoured it if I had listened to it back then. Because it's giving me that kind of Nelly Furtado direction, where it's there's a lot of topics and heavy topics, and sometimes topics that there's metaphors and lyrics that's just insane and just so pronounced and so just you can visualize how she paints a picture in each song. It's just wow kind of thing. So let me go into some of the songs I really like, and then I'll give you a review at the end. I'll give you a rating at the end. So first off, we start off with the song How Do You Do, which is one of my favorite songs off this album. This one pretty much is a conversation that she's having with God about social injustice and pretty much shaming him in a way. Just it starts off with a whole kind of prayer in the beginning, and then it goes into her kind of critiquing. Just here's all this shit that's happening. Why aren't you doing shit about it, And if you already have all this planned down, why is there so many shit going on? As she says, and if you wrote the script, why the troublemakers? Why is there so much hate? Why is there all these dictators and shit like that going around, and you're just, we're supposed to still have faith in you, Or as another part, she says, how many people die and hurt in your name, kind of thing. So it's very controversial if you are religious in that direction, but if you're not, to me, it's just that's a really good conversation. That's a really good direction to think about. Hips Don't Lie is the next one I really like, featuring Wyclef Jean. This one is really, really fun. Everybody knows this song. It was super popular. When I first heard the song, I thought that it was a Coca-Cola commercial, because it sounded, I feel like commercials, when they have songs sometimes featured in commercials, they kind of muffle it down a bit, so it's not as high production. And I feel like that's kind of what this sounded like to me. It was it sounds a little low production in a way, but I really like it. It sounds like a Coca-Cola commercials type of sound, but over time I started really liking it, and I really love it. I love the music video. the way she paints her body in gold, and she does that thing where she like the ooh boy I can see your body moving. She's like da, 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 da. Like I literally tried that so many times to bounce on a chair like that, and I could not do it. I can't do it that fast. She is a very talented dancer. Going into another one I liked, which is I already mentioned this one, Don't Bother. Really love this one, and I feel like as I got older and also got in and out relationships, I definitely understood it more. And I was like, oh, okay, I get this. This is all types of my language. Pretty much talking about how this guy left her for another woman, and she's very upset because this woman has all of these stereotypical things that you would think another guy would want out of somebody. But she's like, yeah, all that shit's happening. Guess she looks so better than me. But there's certain things that I can do that you know that she can't do as better than me, kind of thing. And she also just like, don't bother trying to be nice and trying to make this all okay and try to check on me and like have this like, oh, we're cool, right? She's like, don't bother seeing if we're cool. Just do your thing. Do your thing. You can be unkind if you want to. This whole thing doesn't faze me as much as it does at the same time. One thing she does say, the ring that you gave her will lose its shine. Pretty much saying, so don't bother to be unkind. Pretty much saying, like, it's this fantasy that you have onto her is just gonna dull down just like it did with me, and you're gonna move on to the next person, kind of thing. So I love that. I love that anger that she had inside of it. So nice. The Day and the Time featuring Gustavo Cerati. This one is a really good song too. This is actually a English version of the one that happened on her Volume 1, which is Deus Especial. This one is a really good song. It feels like it's talking about the idea that she wants to still make it work in this relationship, but she doesn't. She knows, so she wants to make it work. She knows that they've been through a dark path, but she wants to kind of revive themselves to kind of make it work and get out of the path so they can see the light. I think the sound of the production is really nice. Gustavo comes in as the background vocals, and it's really cool. I don't really hear too much of him, but you can definitely hear the lower vocal happening under her, but not kind of like he's like putting in some side words as she's singing. It's pretty much just he's singing a lower harmony with her or singing the same melody with her. Your Embrace, this is when we get into a lot of the love songs, and Your Embrace is so powerful. It's so beautiful. One thing I love about this album that she starts off, she knows how to grab you in a song. Like, she starts off in this kind of just like, here's a statement, bam. You know what this is going to be about, and the statement definitely leaves you hanging, just like, ooh, what's that mean? Whoa, that's pretty bold to say. And this one is one of them. Tell me what's the use of a 24-inch waist if you don't touch me? It's like, oh, okay, we're talking about something, and then we go further in, and it's pretty much just saying that she just wants this person's embrace. She wants to be touched. She wants to be held close to by him. And one of the things that she says that I really think is very poetic, I'm only half my body without your embrace. I think it's so beautiful. I think it's so just like, it just shows how much she really, really wants his embrace. I think it's so beautiful. The sound's really beautiful. And then going to the next one I really like is Costume Makes the Clown. This one talks about, I don't really know what it's talking about entirely. I feel like it's talking about the idea of, you see who I look like, what I look like with my makeup on, and I look so great, but that's not who I am. This costume, that the things I put on does not define who I am. If you want to get to know me, you gotta peel off all of that shit to see who I am. And I feel like that's what she's saying. But then she ends it with, it's your turn now to cheat on me. I don't really understand that. I don't know, she didn't really mention at all that she has cheated on him in his song, but at the same time, maybe that's the metaphoric direction of it. But I really, really like this one. I feel like the part that I really like is look how I take off the makeup off my face before I forget who I am. So pretty much she also herself is taking account that she's like, all this stuff does make me forget who I am, so I have to take this off before I forget who I am, kind of thing. So yeah, she says, I am not here to let you down, but the costume makes the clown. Pretty much saying just like, I'm not here to let you down or deceive you or show you some other things. By the way, it's been in and out cloudy right now, so if it goes kind of like this, like it is right now, patience. It's a weather. Sweather weather. So when we go into the next one I really like is something, it's just so nice. It's also this one is a English version of Entus, hope I pronounce this right, Entus Popelas. This one is off the volume 1, but this is an English version of it. And this one is also just so beautiful too. It's just, she keeps on going with oozing out her affection towards this person, and you can just, it's just like, if you're not going to take it, I will. Because that's a lot of love that she's putting out. And it's just so beautifully written. As she says, when I look into your eyes, they say to me that God still exists. And I know that's been said a lot, but in this earlier stage, it hasn't. So I'm sure that in that direction, it's just like, everybody's like, whoa! Another one I like is that, I don't know why it's so simple, but she says, I love everything you say is so funny. Plus, you're the best kisser that I've ever known. So beautiful. I love the French part too. I think it adds more like depth to it. I think it's so nice. And then finally, the last song is Timor. This one has a low-key kind of disco feeling production towards it. It's about East Timor. This is apparently a very violent place and struggling place that's going on in Southeast Asia. It's kind of in the Oceania kind of direction too, because it's right above Australia. Apparently what's happening is that this country has been fighting for a lot of things. Independence mostly, from Portugal all the way till 1975, and then 5 days later, after they get their independence, they're like, yeah, we did it. Here comes Indonesia, which is like with their military, and they're just like, oh, by the way, we want to take you too. And so they had to fight with them for independence until 2002. And now they're part of the UN, and now they're part of the Portugal kind of thing too. But there's still a lot of struggles going on in that time, and I think she was trying to point that out to them, just like, the idea of everything's, if you don't, I'll just read what she says. She says, if we forget about them, don't worry. If they forget about us, then hurry. Pretty much saying is like, if it has nothing to do with you, it doesn't really concern you, that you automatically don't worry about it too much. Pretty much just every third country that's suffering, and you're just like, whatever. But if it happened in your country, you're like, oh shit. And I think what she's trying to say, give that energy, that same energy to other countries too. Have some compassion for other people as other than your own country. And notice this. And I think that one thing she also says is they don't show you all on TV. So you won't really know it by watching BBC. Yeah, so you don't really know this stuff because they're not talking about it as much or at all, and are showing you everything that the actual issue is going on. I really, really like that song. I think it's really political. It points out all types of things in that situation. I love it. And then it goes into La Tortura, and that one is actually on the volume 1, but this one's kind of a Spanglish direction, so I didn't really count it as to give a review to it. It's the same thing with a couple of Spanish stuff, or English parts. So yeah, I really, really like this. I'm so mad at myself for not getting into this. I might have to go backwards and just kind of go into it. I know I kind of been avoiding Laundry Service because I feel like it was too forwardly English, but yeah, I might even go into it. I have since on though, I've been completely kept in track with her. Like she's She-Wolf, Sala El Sol, or Sala El Sol, Shakira, the El Dorado. I love El Dorado. So yeah, so I'm really, really happy with this, that I got to get into this, that I can take it inside and it's like, okay, I like it. I love it. I'm going to find these songs and maybe play them a couple more times. I give this album a... I give this album a a 10 out of, yeah, 10 out of 10. I'll do it. Whatever. It's my video. 10 out of 10. Leave a comment below. Tell me what you thought about this album. If you have history with this album, please let me know. If you have any additional fun facts about this album, please leave it in the comments. If you like this video, hit the like button, hit the note, or if you didn't like this video, or sorry, if you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe button, and the notification bell. Don't hit the unlike button. If you do, it's your opinion. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.